have ice cream though, because he did run out and get some ice cream from an ice cream truck that he heard mid-cast. Just kidding. He's the consummate professional. He waited until his cast was over and got that ice cream. But yeah, coming up next, guys, we do have a fantastic match for you. Well, I'm gonna call it a fantastic match. Brotherhood of Spacers versus Best Intentions. I really enjoy the Brotherhood of Spacers teams. They always seem to have a good time. Best Intentions have a quite hilarious pilot name. But we can throw it to the arena right now as both teams are on field, and we can kind of just break down a little bit of what we're seeing. Alrighty, into the arena, you might get a little bit of a switch here. I believe that Brotherhood of Spacers are Team B, the blue team. Okay, never mind. We have it right. Man, I am so behind the times.
Yep, and
yeah, guys, tell me about these ships. We see some really odd bans. We see Brotherhood of Spacers banning out the perfect win rate Geddon. I'd like to think it's because they listen to me and Alexi's stats. But yeah, break it down, fam.
Yeah, well, we had the most picked overall ship banned out here by the red team, which is the Daredevil. And, as you said, two very strong battleship cores taken out by the Brotherhood of Spacers team, which is followed by a Navy Harbinger ban by whoever's on red side, which I believe is Best Intentions. And as you can see, in response to that, they have brought, the Brotherhood of Spacers have brought Harbingers instead of Navy Harbingers, basically trying to get around that ban. What do you think of that, Rain?
So, I mean, obviously they're trying to adapt. It's just more of, can they utilize these the normal Harbies, as well as they would utilize a Navy Harbie? And then I think it may throw Best Intentions for a loop, because maybe they banned the Navy Harbie, thinking, okay, we want to ban battle cruiser setups. We'll just ban the Navy Harbie, and then we'll ban the Daredevil support. So then that way, hopefully Brotherhood of Spacers won't bring it, and Brotherhood of Spacers then adapted to those bans. We do note that, as I say, we were talking statistics before the break, and we were Oneros, and both teams have actually brought the Oneros. One, because it wasn't banned, and two, because I feel like it's the best armor logi ever. But so we'll be able to see how both of them utilize the Oneroses themselves.
Yeah, and what do you think about this Best Intentions team, which seems to be a kind of similar drone setup to what we've been seeing in the past? But in lieu of taking the double Ishtar, double Vexor Navy core, they've taken double Dominix and then single Ishtar, single Vexor Navy issue, with a really interesting choice of support Magus double Punisher. I can't help but think that you'd like to see those Punishers turned into Tristans, as they are the best ship in the game.
I would, but you can't really discount the Punisher because of how dinky it is. So they just kind of, they do very minimal, very like they only have 2 mid slots, so it's very difficult to try and fit them for tackle. Besides, like either a scram or a web, but once they can last quite a long time, just for being a frigate. We do have 10 seconds until the match starts.
Okay, well then let's get ready to see. What's your prediction? Who's going to come on top here, Rain?
I'm not quite sure, but I have a feeling they both are going to that Best Intentions is going to immediately try to primary those Blackbirds, because nobody likes ECM. And I also kind of... Go on.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, doesn't look like Best Intentions or Magus. I would assume had links, but I didn't see the link effects. I saw the rest from the battle cruisers on the Brother to Spacer side, but none from the Magus. So that was actually quite interesting.
Yeah, look at the damage being applied here to this Dominix. Its T1 resists are not holding up particularly well against the sheer power that 5 battle cruisers can bring down on it. It looks like the Vigilant and the Thorax are burning towards it as well, trying to add their damage to that big mess, as the Dominix is going there looking to dip below 20% as the Aneros attempts to keep him up, trading back on the Jeski in Quinton in the Aneros, taking him down first. Wow, that's huge for the Best Intentions team, taking out the logistics this early and without trading a ship for it.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Brotherhood of Spacers is actually dipping and attempting to ECM the Best Intentions on Euro. So while they're not directly primarying him, they're trying to keep him irrelevant on the field while taking out this Dominix, which looks like has a pretty decent whole buffer tank, even though the Logi reps aren't landing. I'm assuming those ECM effects are actually hitting and landing on him.
Yeah, it looks like the jams have been successful, but it seems to have been too late. You know, the DPS slowly getting whittled away here. Oh my god, this Dominix is hanging in 1% structure. Ah, finally volleyed through. That's so unfortunate. But what's going to happen now? These teams are just going to trade blow after blow on each other. But the best intention does have the priority here. They still have that Aneros on grid and ready to wrap up whatever gets primaried, which is going to make them last so much longer. As we see the harbinger of Symbiotic go super low.
Yeah, Brotherhood of Spacers is not trading well at all. They're going for the second Dominix, but he's holding on pretty well. He has most of his armor there. Looks like the Oneros is actually getting reps on him. So Brotherhood of Spacers either have to take out this Oneros or kill a little bit faster because they're not trading blow for blow quite well.
No, it looks like they're putting all their damage on that Dominix, and I can't help but think that is the wrong call. Never mind, they are turning back onto that Aneros, making the call to use the good tracking of those battle cruisers in order to try and DPS it down in the middle of this match. I can't help but think that they missed a trick by not doing that right at the start. Though their support is obviously not built for that. They don't have the Punishers, they don't have the tackle in order to keep him in range.
Yeah, and they lost the Navy Brutix for it as well. So while they're sitting there switching targets, trying to figure out what to go for, they're just losing their DPS core, and it's not looking good for them. This Thorax is rapidly going down. He's being tackled, and obviously nothing left to keep him alive, so he's off the field.
Yep, Thorax going down there super close. I can't see what effect these Blackbirds are really having. You know, they tried to jam out the Aneros and they tried to jam out the Dominix, but it wasn't enough here. You know, they weren't able to jam the Aneros at the crucial moment, which was the first couple of seconds of the match, and it has really cost them. You know, they weren't able to burn through that Dominix fast enough to take the majority of the best intentions DPS off the field.
Yeah, and it looks like they're actually the boss team is actually struggling with these Punishers. They're for whatever reason both trying to jam them as well as primary them. So I'm guessing the Punishers are probably just causing a huge headache for them, or maybe they just want some easy points off the field. I'm not quite sure why they'd be primarying a Punisher when they're losing their Harbingers.
Well, by the looks of it, it looks like those Punishers are running towards the Blackbirds, trying to tackle them down to stop them from running away from these Dominixes, and so that they can apply their sentries to them. And it looks like they're trying to ECM them off to stop that from happening. But I don't know if that is the right call because it's not going to be enough.
All right, and I got temporarily distracted because this Dominix is being hit with fireworks. I'm not quite sure from what. Maybe these Blackbirds have some festival launches on their highs, but for whatever reason, teams have been consistently bringing fireworks mid-match. Although the boss, the Brotherhood of Spacers team, does seem to have nothing left used to fight this Brutix Navy. If you look at their attack bar, while you do have a Brutix Navy, it's actually not hitting anything. The attack bar is barely has any red to it. Whereas the best intentions team still has their full core up. They've only lost a Tommy.
He's burnt out his guns. You can see all of that went down to 0. He has burnt out his guns.
Oh no!
They don't have any offensive modules left on the field. Oh no, maybe it was just a reload, but so little left. Oh,
it came back. So maybe
he was just reloading or something.
Oh man, that would have been a terrible way to end the match of burning out your modules. He's in structure now, not living to win at all. He's going to die very shortly. Then all that's left are these Blackbirds, which I'm gonna take a gamble and say they don't have anything offensive besides the E-War mids.
No, you can see that attack just disappear, not existing, disappear, just like Brotherhood of Space's chances of making it to the AT here, completely evaporating. So unlucky. They relied too heavily on the RNG of those jams, and it didn't do anything for them.
Yeah, and the Oneros on the best intentions team, doing quite well, keeping this team alive. I know handling ECM, if it's not successful, you're pretty okay, but handling damps is just frustrating because it causes you to fly towards your team, try and rep them, which also means flying towards the enemy for the most part. So mad props to the to Jet Elicon and the Oneros on best intentions.
Yeah, and there goes down Xeno Trigger, the final ship of the Brotherhood of Spaces team, leading to a 100-21 victory here for Best Intentions. This means that we are going to be seeing them in the finals for the win and in to the Alliance tournament itself after being knocked out in their first round.
That will send it back to Elise in the studio.